Hello and welcome to a Monster Hunter World video. So in this video, I actually have a pre-recorded video which is me essentially doing an expedition an expedition run in Monster Hunter World, and I happened to defeat a Anjanath, or Anja for short. And that kind of surprised the shit out of me because I am not that the level for that kind of battle yet. I am miles away from being able to fight him, literally, and I wasn't prepared for it, but I did it anyway because I really wanted to try it, and it actually worked out, and I was able to actually bring him down. So I'm just gonna be commenting on what I'm trying to do or doing in generally. Right, of course, generally right now I'm only just being prepared, replenishing ammunition, and getting myself a nice little food so I can buff myself. Um, the way I see now, keep in mind that I am I am a newcomer when it comes to Monster Hunter World. This is the very first Monster Hunter this is the very first Monster Hunter game I have ever played. I am familiar with the other ones, but I have never played them or seen any gameplay of any of them. The gameplay that I have seen for Monster Hunter World was literally only the beta, essentially, and I have not seen anything else about it. And I have intentionally avoided seeing let's plays and walkthroughs of the full game intentionally, so I can play it and see it for myself to see how it works. So I'm literally a newbie when it comes to this. However, I do learn the game and I do love it. It's an amazing game, and I do love exploring in expedition mode the world and seeing what I can acquire, all things that I can interact with, and it's really fun. And I have to admit, the single player experience is really not that bad. As far as I have played, excuse me, as far as I have played, I am truly having a time of my life. I'm just simply dreading some of the monsters because they're really powerful, and I am just wondering how the hell am I supposed to do it? But it's far anyway, either way, and it's challenging because it really gets you to it forces you to learn the monsters before you can actually take them down. And even if you can't take them down or defeat them to harvest them, sometimes if you break their parts, you can also harvest them that way. That way, your battle isn't for all for naught. Now, the way Monster Hunter World works is there are basically three types of stages or phases. The first one is the preparation, where you're basically preparing your weapons and your gear and also giving yourself a nice meal to boost your status. The second is the hunting, which is you chasing around tracks and clues as to what monster you're trying you're trying to hunt. And once you've identified it and it appears on your map, you can basically then you just go for it and you go for the battle, and that's basically just the fight. You can either slay it or capture it. Although I do like slaying them, the capture is also kind of interesting to use. Now, as a new player in the game world, I was literally overwhelmed with all the things that I had to learn and all the things that I had to prepare and get to know of, and all the things that were presented to me. It just seemed a lot, very overwhelming. But if you take your time with the game and don't beast through acquiring the best gear to go to the next location, then I think I think that works actually very nicely. So I hunted down my prey. I was actually going for. You can actually see me lining up for a wyvern snipe. I was using the heavy bow gun, and I didn't know that my palicos actually count as a proper force. So as I was trying to use it, it kind of bounced on them and off them, and it kind of wasted my shot. So yeah, don't shoot through your palicos. Don't make the same mistake that I did. So this is the fight that I'm going for. So in this fight, I was very careful. I was trying to do as much damage as I can, but at the same time, I was always on alert for any movement that may indicate that he's trying to make an attack, and just try to dodge it as best I can. Now, dodging is a lot more easier if you're using the gun, because I do like the bow guns. The light bow gun and the heavy bow gun is kind of the weapon that makes it for me. It's the thing that actually makes me feel more, I don't know, I feel like I'm doing better damage and I'm playing better with that weapon, so I kind of just use that one. Obviously, you'll use whatever makes you happy, but or whatever you're better at. But I chose the bow gun, and I'm using the heavy bowgun. I would have chosen the light bowgun, to be honest, because of the maneuverability it offers. Right now, the light bowgun is my favorite, but in this battle, I had the heavy bowgun for its heavy damage. Now, you will actually also notice another rookie mistake is that I'm actually using the Jargus armor, the Great Jargus full set armor, and that full set armor makes you weak against fire, which Anja has loads of. He actually breathes fire, and literally a single fire can insta-kill me. Literally, he can two-shot me. In my current stages, at my current Monster Hunter rank, or Hunter rank, he can like two-shot me, because I'm literally like, what, Hunter rank 2 maybe? Tops, I would say. I'm about that kind of rank. And you're supposed to fight this guy like what? I think it's around hero rank like hunter rank 4 or something. After you've acquired a lot of armor and experience and stuff. Plus, you also encounter him the first time. You're supposed to kill him the first time in a quest line, which I was ages like. I was miles away before that, so literally I am not even prepared for this fight. I'm fighting a creature that is way more powerful than what I should have been able to fight. But I do it anyways because it's fun and it's interesting, and I didn't know, so I just went at him afterwards. And you know what? I did a good job, I have to admit. For a guy who has never played Monster Hunter before, who also avoided watching a walkthrough or any person who gives me information, literally just hunting, just with what I have learned for where I have gone, I actually did not that bad. Not to pat myself on the back, but I did not that really that bad. My intuitions are good, like when to attack, when to not attack, when to be alert on dodging. Although you will notice I made a lot of mistakes. The Great Jargus armor set, to be for instance, that actually made me super weak against Anja, at least when he actually used his fire attacks. But I didn't let that stop me, and I did try to use the environment as well, trying to use as many of my ammo as I can, waiting for the opportunity when he's either stunned or distracted by my palico. The palicos are very, very useful. They do help, they do distract. In fact, when you're in solo play, I don't really think, can you kill a monster without a palico? Because that would be very difficult. I found that I would definitely have been dead multiple times if I didn't have my palico with me. And I do like having him around. It's like having, I guess, it's almost like having a second player, except who can heal you, who can tank, and who can deal some decent damage, depending on what he's actually well equipped with. So I do like having my palico with me, and in this particular case, I actually had a second one with me as well, which I found in the environment. Like I said, fire attack, yeah, instant death. I'm dead as soon as I get fire breath on. However, I'm just gonna skip the hunt again, and I'm just gonna go straight back into the battle, because after you've fainted, now in Expedition you can faint as many times as you want, and the only thing is you have to worry about basically going after your monster. The only thing that you have to worry about is that there is a certain time for a monster to stay in an environment before it actually leaves. So there is kind of a time limit when it comes to monsters, because they tend to leave and then come back. You'll actually notice that Anja actually left before I actually started the video. He actually had left the area, and a new one just took his place. So I guess I was just lucky, well, lucky to have another one just being there. Anyways, I tracked him down, tried to use my Weaver Snipe this time for to a better effect, and then start hunting him, start attacking him. My essentially what I'm trying to do is what I'm really trying to do is wait until he's distracted by my palico, then just go start healing, start aiming for him. I don't know if aiming for specific parts of him will actually, I don't know, weaken him faster or break down faster or anything. I'm trying to aim for like maybe to like destroy his tail or something, because I do remember in the beta you could like take apart some of the monster's parts. So I guess I was trying to see which part of the body will actually deal more damage, because I did notice that attacking certain monsters in certain locations, they actually are very armored and stronger in those locations. So it would actually be beneficial to attack them in the places where they're weak against. So like I said, I did go with the heavy bowgun. I would have been a lot better with the light bowgun, just for that added agility and maneuverability. But I do like the bowgun very well as well. Now, the one thing that I will notice is the one thing that I really hate about the game is that everything that you do that doesn't include your gun, you will have to you have to unequip your gun. Gathering items, you have to unequip your gun. Carving monsters, you'll have to unequip your gun. Healing or taking antidotes or healing, you'll have to unequip your gun. And this is annoying because he takes some time to unequip the gun, and this kind of slows the gameplay in a way. I do understand the reason though. I mean, I guess healing while using a gun is not exactly that bad of a thing. It's not like you can't use, you can't hold the gun with one hand and then use a potion with the other hand to drink. It's not like you can't do that. I fail to see why you can't in this game. I guess it creates a pacing of the game. So what to say? Now here there's always the monster that you're hunting is not always the one that only exists. So there's plenty of monsters around. Here we have a small little encounter with Rathalos. I think Rathalos kind of devastated him because he seemed a little bit like his mind was, I don't know what Rathalos said, but he was like, whatever he said definitely bugged him because he was like, did this really happen to me or something? I don't really know. Until I started fighting him, then he snapped out of it, to my undelight. So, monster encounters are actually there. Now I don't know if I would assume that two monsters that are fighting each other will deal damage to each other, so it would make sense to not, aggro them and just leave them to do their thing until they finish up and then start fighting, until one retreats and stuff. At least that's my theory. I don't really know if that's actually a thing. I'm hoping it is because it would make sense and it would be awesome. And sometimes some monster encounters are kind of inevitable, and every time I would try to fight the one that I'm trying to kill, the other one would try to attack me. I don't know why. I'm attacking the one that he's trying to kill, and he's attacking me. I don't know why. What to do. So I guess letting them fight it out is actually the best. It's the best approach when it comes to two monsters encountering each other. Like I said, fire, insta kill. I'm using the Great Jargas armor, and he is, that's his name, right? The Jargas, yeah. The Great Jargas armor, and he is severely weak against fire. So, yeah. I'm not exactly, I think we've established the fact that I wasn't prepared for this fight, but I think I'm doing pretty well. Just keeping my distance. Oh, talking to who? Oh, look who it is. That's the person whose armor I'm actually using, going around with a belly full of food. So, continuing the fight with Anja, I'm basically just shooting at him, trying to position myself in a place, looking for those attacks of his, those attack patterns when he basically, every time a monster attacks, they make a certain movement that they're going to attack, and I could have easily dodged them. It's just that sometimes you're locked in place by certain actions, and you can't always you can't always dodge at the same time. You might be stuck in a reloading animation, and for whatever, sometimes some actions override your dodging, and that's a problem because you really need to dodge immediately. Otherwise, that's literally the only place where you cannot actually get hurt. And there are many times where I'm just literally lucky that I'm out of range of being attacked. Literally, there are some times where I'm just barely out of reach, and I just don't get hit because I'm just barely out of reach. Until I'm not, and then I get hit. Luckily, you can choose your environment a little bit. You can actually, the monster will always have certain patterns and certain locations that they go to, and once you've memorized what exists in each location, you can actually use it to your advantage to help like I use with the vitality flowers here, to help me out. Thereby saving my potions. So, learning your environment and where to fight can be very advantageous, which is why I do recommend when you're in a new area, when you unlock a new area, to go into expedition just to farm for resources and just to get to know the environment, because that would actually help you a lot. Now, Anja is already hurt. He's actually gimping. You can actually tell that he's gimping. Now, I don't know if that means that he's at I don't know, he's lost 75% of his health, or he's at 50% health. I don't really know. I would actually have loved it if we actually had like health bars for them. But then again, I guess not knowing is also interesting because I don't know, it brings a mystery, and I guess you can somewhat understand how they are like I guess when they are like gimping and stuff, they're weak. You can actually tell that they're low on health. I would assume that they are at least below half of their health, which is why they're like that weak and everything. So I guess by looking at the monster, you can actually determine a lot of things. Just like determining if it's poison or anything. Like when they have like this little purple liquids in their mouth, that means they're poisoned or something. So I guess that actually works. So yeah, in Anja, in this fight, I'm also like chasing after him, going from location to location while I'm actually going after him, trying to take him down. He's actually, I would assume that he's below 50% health, so now I'm actually like on the go for him. It was a pain where like I was doing the fight, trying to break some parts of him, just so I can start working on some of his armor maybe, and I was actually doing a lot better than I thought I was going to do, and this actually kind of like motivated me to like, oh, I can do this. I can actually defeat him. So, which is why I started really trying to get him, even though I was basically dying with one hit by his most powerful attacks, which I guess would make sense to be that way. Now here I was a little bit worried. I can actually see over there like I could see a this is the area where Rathalos sleeps, or it's either Rathian or Rathalos, one or the other. And yeah, I was kind of worried. I was like curious: is there a Rathalos going to fight there or what? I don't really know. Now he was doing this, which I don't exactly know what was going on. He was basically just being still. Was he exhausted? Did I exhaust him from somehow or something? Can monsters get exhausted? I do know that there is exhaust ammo, which allow you to exhaust the creature. Does that mean that they'll just be unable to like move? They'll be too exhausted to actually make a move? That would actually make sense, I guess. But then again, I don't really know. What I do know is that I really wanted to get things done because apparently this location was a Rathian location, and yeah, that's a really powerful creature that I didn't want to come across. Although I have to be honest, even at this stages, I was able to fight off a Rathian with the light bow gun and actually bring it almost to death before it left, because I was in an expedition and it left, unfortunately. I could have actually defeated a Rathian even at these levels. It's interesting. Once you learn their attack patterns, you can try to work around them. So when it comes to Anja, once he reaches this location, then he is at his last legs. This is where he sleeps to basically replenish some of his health. And I use this opportunity to basically use my strongest attacks. Now, here with the heavy bowgun, I just used my Wyvern ammo. But with my light bowgun, I would use my Wyvern blasts. I would basically put all three of them on the ground and then just wail at them and have them explode into their faces, and this deals a lot of damage, very useful damage. Sometimes it even kills them instantly, as you will see in some other videos that I will upload of some of the other creatures. But when a creature is at his nest, then you know that he is at his last legs. He or she is at his last legs. And yeah, I actually continued on. At this point, I was like, I was like pumped. I really wanted to defeat him. I was so close. I didn't want him to leave, and I just wish that there was no time limit, that there was no like time limit before they actually left. That way you could actually fight them. But okay, that's the way it is. And yeah, there you have it. I was able to kill him. I was like what, a hunter rank 2? With a great Jargus armor set that literally renders me weaker against an Anjanath or an Anjanath, and I won. I actually was able to slay him with the bowgun, and I guess the bowgun does actually definitely does work for me. So I'm going to be using that as most of my primary weapons. But yeah, what do you think about my battle with the Anjanath? How many mistakes did I make? Count them. I would actually like to know. Anyways, any tips or hints that I could use to actually make my hunter route a little bit better? That would actually be also I would actually love that. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you found the video, I don't know, interesting. I do love this game. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay cool, and I'll see you later. Bye.